Welcome to Anime in a Day. I'm your host, Snaffy Napkin, and I'm going to be watching Kaguya-Sama. Now, I'm making this video. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to watch this entire anime inside a single day. And I'm just going to say whatever thoughts happen at the moment whenever I'm watching it. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've always had a difficult time codifying my thoughts and then recording it because I want to record them and then rethink and reread back upon them, because normally these thoughts are, fleeting and only happen at the time. And I think it's important to preserve all those thoughts while I'm also watching it. And as I said, I've had a hard time doing that. In an ideal world, I just wish my thoughts were immediately just put somewhere and then I can rethink back upon it, but I don't have a mind palace, so I normally resort to taking notes of it. But the problem with that is that it just takes too long, and I normally don't have a very like long-term memory of all the events that happen in the episode. So normally when I'm writing it, and while I'm writing it, it takes a while and I just forget what happens in the actual episode itself. It just makes me restless, and all I want to do is just watch the anime and not waste my time writing about it. The other solution is this, where I speak my thoughts about it while I'm watching it. And the problem with that is that I already have a hard time communicating and having my thoughts put out into the world. So right now I'm just experimenting with all of the possibilities to record whatever I'm thinking at the moment. Regarding the anime choice though, Kaguya-Sama, I just chose it because it was popular, and I just chose it because it was popular, and I feel like I have an obligation to watch popular anime. That's the things everyone's watching, so I also gotta. The bandwagon effect is really hitting me. I'm getting that FOMO feel. It has those moe romantic, not really moe, just romantic comedy, crowd pleasing feel to it. Like, I'd categorize it with Spy X Family and Komi-san. They're just, widely appealing because they're funny and they're heartwarming and nice to watch. Personally, I don't think I'd get a lot out of it because I don't really like the romance genre. I just don't understand how the chemistry between characters work in those situations most of the time, because I'm not a romantic. I suppose it's just not personally appealing. Neither would the comedy either, I assume. But I mean, I laugh my ass off at a lot of Precure episodes, so yeah, we'll see. I Jesus, mind my coughing out. The other reason, I mean, what I know of Kaguya-Sama, and I did watch the first episode. From what I watched, the way I would describe it is that it's an incredibly stylistic PowerPoint presentation about the characters and their relationship at that moment. The reason why I say PowerPoint presentation is that it's mostly just the narrator, and there are some metaphorical visuals that go alongside it that try to explain what their relationship between the two main characters are like, instead of actually being a narrative from beginning to end and the camera following these two. There's like an actual narrator, which is why it feels like a PowerPoint presentation to me. That's not generally a bad thing. That's also, I don't know, I suppose, an acceptable way to portray what these two characters are like to the audience as well. I saw clips of the show that it's not gonna be 100% like that. So it's just incredibly stylistic as well. It's got a personality to the show itself. That's something to look forward to. Currently, I'm just torrenting it, and I was debating between myself if I should watch the fan sub or the official sub, and I just decided on the fan sub because I figured it'd be more passionate, and more people have watched the Netflix version, I assume. So, I'm gonna do something a bit different here, and I do have a Netflix subscription. It's just I watched Neon Genesis Evangelion, the first episode with the Netflix subs, and I wanted to see what the difference is with the fan subs. And yeah, no, I just prefer the fan subs more because there's a lot more passion into it. If it goes, there is a problem with fan subs, and it's that they get too show offy. And there's a great documentary out there. I forgot who made it. You know what? I'm just gonna check it in a second. This is like completely unrelated to Kaguya-Sama, but I'm just gonna find it first. Okay, it's this documentary made by Ota King Animation about anime fan subs back in the past. That's honestly pretty outdated. It's uploaded like 14 years ago, and clearly the fan sub environment has changed a lot since then, but it's still a pretty good analysis of why fan subs aren't great and why professional subs are better. Really, everything that I would say about it is already said in these documentaries, so just go watch those. That being said, though, I'm still gonna watch the fan sub. Alright. I think after this, you're gonna just be transported into a clip where I say something about the show after I first watched it. See you in a bit. Yeah, I'm just currently on my bed watching this darn anime with my epical mirror sunglasses that I stole from. I hope you know who I am stealing these from. Anyways, stylistic and aesthetic wise, video personality, cult of personality wise, doesn't matter. I immediately have a problem with putting my thoughts into something right now because I finished the first half. You see, the blue bar is halfway through the first episode, and trying to streamline all my thoughts about the show into language, difficult, especially with all the really cool ways the show just presents all the things that it wants to say. Like, one very specific part that I did like was when it just did the 3D thing into the... Yeah, here it is. When it did the whole fucking 3D thing, it does this a lot, where it just... Oh my fucking god. Reminds me of Nichijou wasting its entire budget, but this seems like a high, pristine quality anime where the whole point is these two people, these two student council students who are, honors, they're respected by everyone else, and the person who confesses their love basically is the one who loses because they sacrifice all their pride into doing that. And that's pretty much the whole conceit of the show. For some reason, one thought that I had was their character designs. The yellow-haired dude, I didn't really like I didn't really like his colors with his blue eyes, which I know is meant to conflict against the red girl's eyes. But with the yellow hair, it just seems off. But he does have a threatening sort of aura to him, who's very, stoic and rule abiding. Look at that dude. He's got a sharp ass nose as well. I think Kaguya's design is a lot more. It's just a lot better. It's just she's red and black, which is a great combination of hair, but also with her ribbon that she ties to, as well as the side bangs and her red eyes that glow in the dark, seemingly. Yeah. Anyways, besides that, just the half was the first half was just a show to. It was a show of what the rest of the anime is going to be about. Instead of, I mean, it's basically a battle shonen anime, but instead of in the realm of techniques to destroy your opponent using martial arts, it's instead just using the atmosphere of the situation and their own goals of making the other confess and lose, basically. Oh, here's Chika. So yeah, they use techniques to make the enemy, their opponent, do the specific thing, and it's pretty interesting. And they also, introduce Chika Fujiwara as, again, pitted against these two incredibly irrational beings with a bunch of intense logical thought behind their actions, and Chika being just completely random. That's a great comedy, just set piece in general, as well as these two characters' chemistries are actually, pretty entertaining to listen to. Now, I said before this that the entire thing is basically a PowerPoint presentation, and I still abide to that. I mean, it just goes into these random, not only random, but very big animations pieces that are in the realm of imagination, which is very interesting. But these two characters can just have their thoughts and then fight each other without the narration interrupting. Uh, we'll see. I'm only halfway through the episodes. I love this fucking VHS effect that happened there. That was cool. Alright. I'm gonna go watch the second half. Alright, I've just finished the first episode. I'm gonna be walking around, helps me gather my thoughts a bit, as well as, I mean, normally, Beatrice or Digibro, she would used to walk around his little anime room. I'm just gonna walk around my giantly lavish house. So, the first episode is normally when it really presents everything about the show itself, and it's incredibly important. Helps set up the rest of the show, as well as just the one that you have the most thoughts about, because generally when I make my notes for the shows, the first episode is when I have, okay, here's what the entire show is about, all condensed to one episode. So I think I have just three main thoughts, which is its presentation, mostly of its I need to check if it's where it's adapted from, because this will sound silly if I'm wrong. The second thing, how it presents itself from where its adaptation is from. The second thing is its narration, and the third thing is why it's funny. So the first part, it's clearly like presented from a manga, as well as the little white box that says Kaguya-1 this time, or something like that. Clearly from a manga, as well as its like little mini stories or battles against the two Kaguya and Shirogane. I think that was their names. Yeah, they're presented as mini stories, and each episode in episode 1 had 3. And there's really no connection between them, and that's kind of the problem that I have with manga adaptations, I suppose, because each chapter is especially with something like a rom-com, each chapter focuses on a narrative that starts and ends pretty much. It's a single insular story. It doesn't have any connections with other chapters, especially with this rom-com type thing, which is why it's not best put into an anime, which is one episode. It starts from beginning to end and it's 20 minutes long, unlike manga, which is separated into smaller chapters. Really, all the stories are entertaining, so it's not that bad. I'm just really thinking about Surezure Children, and that anime, that was really... all the episodes were at least more bite-sized, so it helped for that, but it was still a bunch of episodes that weren't... no, little stories that weren't connected with each other, especially since you're focusing with a lot of people, a lot of couples in Surezure Children. The second thing was the narration, and the fact that this anime had it to explain what was going on inside their heads, like in a very explicit way, doesn't really allow for analysis. And the thing that I'm comparing this to is, what was that? Origairu. I just finished Origairu Season 2 a bit ago, and it would have been really annoying if there was a narration in there, just the guy explaining all of the lateral thoughts that was happening. And it was kind of a hard to follow show, but if you really thought about it and what all the characters are saying and what the show and what all the characters are doing, you can understand all of their motivations and what the show is trying to say clearly if you just thought about it for a bit. Here, you don't do that as much. The characters show what they mean, and then even if you didn't get it then, the narration says it. So I mean, we'll see if if it keeps narrating, because I've seen clips of it and I didn't remember that. I said that already. The third thing is not awful. It's just, I don't know. It's not like it wasn't unnecessary. It did help contextualize a few things and give some proper background to stuff that I possibly couldn't have known. I didn't think it was an absolutely necessary thing either. The third thing is why it's funny, and it's just that these are two people who are in the most prestigious school. That's how the intro to the first episode actually introduced them as, and they're like daughters and sons of owners of incredibly big companies, and one of them's just like a prodigy genius. And what you're pitting them against are these little tiny situations that barely matter in everyday life. So, and now they're like arguing about lunch and who says what in some conversation that won't even matter. So, like, just downplaying the situation, I suppose. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not I mean, I assumed I'd have a lot of thoughts for the first episode. I don't know about the rest, if they continue on. I mean, I'd be willing to watch, all these characters interact with each other and have a lot of chemistry. And I'm sure there's new characters involved, but that's basically the essence of the show, so, we'll see. I'll also cut my stubble eventually. It looks gross. Okay, one more thing. It's the start of the second episode. I just wanted to say that about Chica's position inside this entire thing. Not only is she as like the chaos theory as the show presents her as, she's just a normie, so we can like see how she reacts to all of the high-brained, I don't want to say autistic, but it's really just focusing on this incredibly silly relationship between Kaguya and Shirogane that they have, and how like kind of unimportant all of it is. and really just shows the thing that I said earlier. These two are like geniuses and incredibly important people that are just focusing on this incredibly unimportant thing, as well as just how, like, because of Chika's simplistic nature and how unimportant she thinks of all of this discussion is, she just is normal and has normal relationships with them, which is normally a lot and becomes a lot closely, like, has ironically a closer relationship between these two characters instead of Kage and Shirogane actually meeting with each other, which is the entire intent of the show. Instead, Chikara gets closer to both of them than they will ever be. So I just like her addition. That's cool. I think another thing that it does that makes it pretty funny is that it sort of flips the trope of miscommunications in anime on its head, because normally in miscommunications, it just adds false conflict that does not matter in the end. And it would have been better if they just understood exactly what the other person meant in anime, just directly. And it's just annoying whenever it happens. But here, it's utilized so that that actually becomes the main conflict. Like, here, it's saying, hey, I want to know your line ID, and that means that it's like an expression of love, and that means I want to talk to you more, which means, expressing her love to him. So, all these weird, like, trains of thought from one thing to the next, which becomes more and more important. And that's why these little, every single thing they say in their dialogue is incredibly important. Holy shit. Give me a second, I need to watch this. Now I'm just getting the feeling if I'm analyzing a comedy show. I mean, you heard the metaphor of, like, explaining a joke is like dissecting a frog. You'd know what the frog is about, but you'd also kill the frog. And if I explain it, it won't be funny anymore. But I think the point is, like, it's just making something that it just plays up something as incredibly important, but then it becomes incredibly unimportant. Like exactly this shot of, like, the everything's, this lines, it becomes very impactful and action packed, and also the whole build up of them confessing their line ID. There's a bunch of impressive animation there, and then they just use this shot of really, you know what I'm fucking talking about. Whatever. It becomes unimportant. That's what it's trying to say. Just a white screen with blank faces and simple dots and lines going to each other. Alright. Continuing on. Okay, it's currently playing the ending to the second episode. I think every episode is a different ending. But I think I've pretty much reached the point where everything that I said before, that was like a very broad talk of discussion of what the episode is about. Currently, I'm at the point where I can just talk about individual events of the show now. And I mean, one thing that I definitely say about it is that it's just incredibly creative with how it shows just what's happening. Like, currently, to show how their, I don't know, love is going, I suppose, it shows a very creative dream sequence of Kaguya where they're in some 1920s drama where he becomes a pilot. And that's just what the ending is about. That's really cool. I hope to see more of that, as well as how it presents in the whole VHS thing. What was the part? Oh, right. I do want to talk about this scene where, just to recap, basically Shirogane accepts to give advice to this one dude, and that's basically where, oh hey, I'm busy. Anyways, it's basically where the dude tells him to wall slam the girl, and but in the entire scene, Kaguya is just listening to everything, and she reacts to everything that they're saying, and this is just a pattern that I've been noticing in a lot of comedy anime in Japan recently, I suppose. And it's a type of comedy that I call voyeurism comedy, where there's this situation that's happening, and you hear what the audience is reacting to it as a sort of third person to the entire thing. And the comedy is based on how the third person reacts to it. Like, here's how silly this entire thing is happening. And the third person, as a straight man, is supposed to just say, oh, that's not what's supposed to happen. Now, the situation by itself is already pretty comedic, but the voyeurists themselves are just meant to react to it, and, yeah, that's it. It's like reactor comedy. It's like a YouTube react video. Currently what I'm doing right now, I suppose. But I'm trying to sort of say what my thoughts are about it. We'll see if there's anything more interesting in the other episodes. I'm not even done with my first 3-episode test already. And I'm gonna be watching the entire thing, by the way. Oh, fuck. Okay. Actually, another thing that I wanted to say, all the girls designed here are just great. Kashi Gawi just looks fun, adorable. Everyone does. They're all, yeah, it's anime. I'm already used to this. The other anime that I'd say is even close to how every single girl is just designed very well and cute, and I just have like I don't know, I say a kink for just very generic looking anime girls have brown hair and cute eyes, is a Shimonetta. That's a good one. More importantly, everyone's just on model. Here, if you watch a Precure where their budget is not very good and they make an episode a week, it's made by Toei, no one is on model, especially Hapcha. And honestly, a lot of anime do that as well. Shimonetta is one that does not do that. This one's, second place to that, where they have a lot of budget to it, I suppose. Even in Nichijou, which is said to not have a good budget, it has a very unique style to that one that's hand drawn. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. See you next time when I record myself doing this. Probably the end of the 3rd episode. Okay, I'm running out of cool camera angles to shoot this, so I'm just gonna do whatever I want now. The thing I wanted to talk about is just like, I suppose the game loop is that I just wanted to say that I like that they bring a lot of already existing concepts and then just contextualize it into this narrative that they have between each other. Like, they mentioned sample selection bias and the Barnum effect, stuff like psychological and ethical just theory, and then they insert it into the show. Takes a lot of research and puts a lot of interesting stats that the show just discusses. That's just cool. I love this psychological, it's not really instead of a real war, now it's a psychological war. That's cool. Alright, Actually, you know what? Just to continue the last thing that I said, what this anime secretly, on a subconscious level, like, reminds me about is this other anime, and I just can't stop reviewing this anime that isn't in a void. Shoot, Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. Now, what that anime was about is that it presents in each, I mean, it's sort of like a manga experience as well, and in each chapter, what it tackles is a problem in society, and that's what his whole deal is about. I'm in despair. The society has left me in despair, that clip. And in here, what it sometimes delves into, but it also, what it sometimes delves into is a problem with like love and relationships in general, and brings up a piece of, uh, what was it? Just a something to, just a problem with relationships instead of a problem with society. So like, here's a stat about how many people in high school that already have done their first time, and it mentions, hey, here's how this statistic can make you think about how you're feeling left behind by that. And then the anime discusses it with the three people that are here, and then relates it to the narrative about winning against this war of confessing their love. So yeah, that's a thing that I noticed. I liked it. Okay, I'm currently at the legendary Chika Fujiwara dance scene. I'm just gonna talk over it, and yeah, the camera definitely can't pick up much. Anyways, the ending to episode 3, especially the part that it tries to focus on, made me kind of change my mind about like what the show is going to be about ever since episode 1, I suppose, because I was thinking that what its formula that I thought to myself would be, here's these two characters, they're gonna be talking about stuff, and then like try to manipulate the other to confess their love. And it has a lot of situations where, well, the situation could be, or what they're actually talking about could be different, and that's what the formula I thought that was going to be. And it's a pretty entertaining one, but I didn't think it would be that appealing to me personally. It's still funny and everything. But in the end of the third episode, it does not have Shirogane at all, and instead it's just a purely Kaguya-focused episode where she just goes to school on her own and helps a little elementary school kid go to school. And, more introspective stuff like that shows to me that it can break the formula a bit on occasion. And, I'm kind of interested in watching more episodes, so that's pretty much the status it is now. I'll see if I do actually have more thoughts about the rest of it, because I was watching, because the first 3 episodes, that's why they call it the 3 episode test. That's how you get to know most of the anime already, because it's meant to be the essence of it, and you drop after the 4th one. Maybe I already did watch most of it, but I think the thought that I just had about the end of the 3rd episode being different proves that it won't just follow this formula. So that's smart on their part. We'll see, as I say at the end of every of these sections. Here's the Chika appreciation part of this video, currently on episode 4, where they are playing the banned word game, and yeah, Chikara here emotionally manipulates Kaguya to say her word by lying her entire backstory. And I don't know, it's mean, but it's also how like it what was it, subverts your expectations about her, because she, you thought she was dumb, now she's not, and she's actually surprisingly psychopathic. She's also doing all these meme dances that could be green screened and put everywhere else on the internet. What a kooky character. I did want to say at the beginning of the episode, when they looked at each other with their cat ears and how much they think they're cute for each other. That's just proof that they inherently, like each other in the first place. This part though, of course, Kaguya, who at school is like this stoic, kind of manipulative figure. Here at home with Hayasaka is just your regular teenage girl who acts all cute. That's, also cute in itself as a concept. Alright. Okay, so this is actually relevant to what they're actually discussing and not because I just want to talk about it. Sometimes Kaguya is jealous of how Voluptuous. No. Give me a sec. Okay, well-rounded Chica's figure is. And I just want to say that I don't understand women's jealousy of girls with bigger assets. I mean, I could say the words, but I'm not gonna. And it's because, I don't look at guys' bulges and say, fuck, if only my dick was bigger. Obviously for girls, it's a lot more prominent to look at. But the reason even if you admire a hot woman's figure, you also have to just consider the struggle that they have to go through. They have to buy expensive big bras, have their shoulders and back hurts, as well as a bunch of guys looking at them, And let me just say that I'll agree they're hot. I'm a heterosexual, maybe male, a teenage boy who's into it. They're way easier to jack off to. But in that sense, it's just like, here's a fucking statement. Girls with bigums, that's all I see of them as, it's hard to look away. And that's just what some men think, not all of them. And girls with comparably smaller assets are just, I can respect them as human beings more. That's all I want to say. I'm not saying it for myself, and I'm absolutely sure a lot of other men think this way as well. Now, that was a completely unneeded discussion. Still related, I swear, about the show. Also, holy shit, Kashigawa is in this one. That's cool. I like this mini narrative that they're going for, where they not really emotionally manipulate, but drive another relationship as well, who just decide to get relationship advice from the student council presidents, and they're just reoccurring characters. I'm interested in that. Well, also they manipulated them to become the antisocial deviants who rebel society. That's great. Even though, they do charity work after this. Ew. Lame. You know what? After, watching the funny basketball scene where it's revealed Shirogane sucks at playing volleyball and Chika teaches him, maybe I just realized that this anime is not 100%, obviously not the entire thing to be talked about. You know what anime is meant to be talked about? Serial Experiments Lane, Angel's Egg, Text No Lies, all those animes with real meaning. This one is a very experiential anime where it's just fun to hang out with the characters as they do dumb stuff. It's simply fun, and it's simply funny that Shirogane sucks this much at volleyball. And it's great to see him struggle through it as well as Chika teaching him. That's really cute. I don't have to analyze and dissect every joke here, and I probably won't for most of it. If I did, I'd be here all day. Actually, that's the point. I'm supposed to be here all day talking about it. Shut up, alright? Let me watch my goddamn anime and just laugh about it. See you on the flip side, as flipped the shit. You know, now that we're halfway through, actually, I think I'm on the fifth episode. Never mind, doesn't matter. Now that I'm somewhat halfway through, I think I think I get it. I think I understand why this anime is so interesting. It's really just because they're fighting about literally nothing. Like they're just fighting here while it's raining. Um, Not just that, they're fighting in just the weirdest places in very innovative ways, and they think about like every single aspect about it. It has as much thought as an actual shonen battle and all their techniques that they use, but it's used in everyday situations. Not just that, but the way it presents it is as creative in like every single shot, cinematography, and like just they really want to waste their animation budget. It's great. It's like Nichijou, but but everyone's fighting each other, and it's really smart. And also it like propels a narrative of the romance between these two. And that's the chemistry between all of them is great as well. Uh, I think I'm just rambling. See you on the next. I just want to say I really like this one uh, piece of art for Chico whenever the opening plays. It's really cool. Just like the pose and the aesthetics of an anime girl having a giant ass scythe, and the red and black dress. I don't need to explain. It just looks cool. Love it. Holy crap, the way it uses like these black borders around it sometimes is really cool. It changes into red, then changes to white in a more melancholic scene right afterwards. Sometimes it's actually using the full screen. And then after that, oh yeah, it's got like some background, some art to it. Some, and then there's this part that I think looks fucking awesome. Really senses the tension of the scene here as Kagura's killing you. Alright. Yeah, this whole arc of you thinking Kaguya will kill her. I don't know how serious it was meant to be, but I have a theory. But, that was one of those misunderstanding things I was talking about earlier in this whole menagerie. It's been 6 episodes, been 2 hours. Anyways, I have a theory that anime is all about misunderstandings or something like that. Gonna make a big thesis statement about it. Oh my god, when Chika pulls out the giant psychology test for love book, I this is personally relating to me. I relate. I just love vague psychology tests. They're so interesting to just read. It really tells you a lot about yourself that you didn't know at first. I also really like the introduction of you as a character, the black purple haired one, the edgy boy, because that's basically his entire perspective on the situation that we didn't get from the other characters. Look at this edge. Look at this edge lord over here. Damn. I can't believe her saying that has now become a meme already. She says it every single time when Shirogane imagines a situation where he'd be losing to her. Okay, I'm at when Kaguya like fashions her nails because Hayasaka told her to. First of all, Hayasaka's great. She's great. She's the best character. Um, I love the Two-Face trope, I suppose. The other thing that I noticed that there's a distinct lack of the narrator. That's for the best. I complained about him at the very beginning. Now that he's gone, the characters can explain for themselves what their strategies and what they think of people are. That's cool. Now the only character that I'm waiting to see is Shirigane's little sister. Just curious, I think it's the one that I've seen clips of it, and she had gray hair and some some accessory, some black and white accessory on her hair. I don't know. I only think of anime characters by their hair. I thought that was Kaguya's sister or something because they both had the same color of hair. Enough about that. I'm gonna see you on the 7th episode, I suppose. Alright, the fun dudes back here. They're just giving him all the wrong advice again. That's great. We're just like experiencing this person's relationship through disconnected, disparate events. I also just wanted to talk about this scene because as a YouTuber, I always try to think what's like the most creative way to visualize what I am talking about on screen, and that really is a question that I always ask myself during editing. And the way they show how hot something is, this guy burns his thumb, the sun is shining bright, a thermometer explodes, and the weather is turning hot everywhere, and the room explodes. That's just amazing. That's really a college thesis about this. What do they call it? Oh, whatever. Scene's good. Fine, come on, look at this. Look how cute the girls are. These are just girls they designed for no reason except just to exist for an example. It's so good. So, just really the only other thing that I wanted to say is that in this club cast pyramid, being in the anime club is worse than not having a club. Thank you, really helps my self-esteem. Dude, literally me, I can't believe this does not exist in my university or my high school. This is awful. Have you guys watched that, the best anime ever, Saikuro, was it Hokugo Saikuro Club, where they just have a club about playing fucking, what was it, tabletop games? It's the best thing ever. Alright, we're done. Enough perversion from this dude. I don't know if I'm talking about Chica too much, but you know, I've got a theory. Maybe she's a lot more devilish than you think. Because the second she gets, like a leg up against Kagura here by saying Ochinshin, you know, she abuses it like hell. And she's actually the real secret mastermind and the smartest character in the entire cast, actually. Alright, that's enough. No, don't actually think about that. Okay, I'm on episode 8 right now. I think I started this around 9 a.m. So it took me like 4 or 5 hours by now to watch all these in a single day. Obviously, I had a break in between and ate lunch, stuff like that. And I'm just getting the feeling that I'm not really meant to watch a rom-com or a show like this all in one go. You know, especially a manga adaptation. Maybe you're really only meant to read chapter by chapter and then you can leave anytime you want. And this does not have a narrative to it, and there's no like cliffhanger at the end of every episode that could motivate someone to watch the next one. The real, hook is just these are fun characters and you can just hang around them anytime you want. And that's really how you're meant to actually experience the show. Just put it on anytime you want to have fun. Not an entire binge sesh. Because, I don't know, maybe I'm getting, it's like being in as like having too much of a good thing. Being high on dopamine. Also, holy crap, I think Shirogane's little sister is here. It's the girl that I was talking about that had gray hair. Yeah, that one. Okay, whatever. I'll see. Now I want to watch the rest of this episode. Shit, damn it. Forget everything I said. Damn it. Girl's cute. Also, come on, Kagura can call this girl cute, but whenever I call someone else handsome, I'm gay, and shit, where's my sunglasses? And, uh, fucking disrespecting my own religion. And I can blur, I know I'm not gonna edit this, but blur my eyes out. It's gross. Don't look at him. Disgusting. Anyways, here's the joke, because I feel like explaining it. I can't believe Kaguya. At first, he's like, I'll try to be a competent sister for Kei Shirogane over here. And then it turns out the treasurer Yu just helps her. And then after that, she tries to become personal friends with her. And then Chika comes right along, and they were friends the entire time. He has a way closer relationship than Kagura ever will. And all of this just to have a closer relationship with the Shirogane family in general, because she not really dreams of just being with them, and they'd have a closer relationship with this dude over here. Now, I say this because, and I'm just kind of rambling over here. I don't know if there's really a lot of point to what I'm saying, but I think the reason why this anime is different to others, even though I don't know, the feeling that most comedy anime are trying to, most comedy anime that usually have this anime uh fucking just cut this last part. This fucking sucks. Most comedy anime that aren't great, they just aren't, because they try to have this anime comedy to them, and it's mostly just, I think it's really because Kagura's intentions or morals there is that it was understandable, like she wants to get closer to the Shirogane family, but for other animes it's just, I want to get with the main president or something to become part of his harem, you know? And that's just the intentions and the motivations are different. I should probably write this out actually instead of just saying it, because I can't fucking construct words. Yeah, we're going back to the beginning here. Alright. Cut all that is awful. You ever just be like, damn, this girl's so well signed that the anime should just totally be about them. I like glasses and they're cute. I got it. And man, I like these like random, not really random, character interactions between each other that don't seem to have some logic behind that. I don't know. What I'm saying is, it's kind of surprising seeing Kaguya and you being together and having some sort of arc and a story together. That's cool. I want, these two characters to interact and have a lot of chemistry together, even if it doesn't make sense. Shows a lot of care between all the characters, and they do that in My Little Pony as well. That's totally relevant. Even these two girls, like, man, why are these two guys together? One more thing that I wanted to say, this is really one of the moments in the show that gets really serious and have a sort of message that it wants to say to you, and what it says about the characters themselves, since they're being questioned and like, man, why are these two together, Kagura fights for him against the two girls that make fun of her for not really, whatever this is. It's about reputation and being worthy of having a relationship with him, even though he has a bad past. Also, I just want to say, when he said fucking don't confiscate my video games, it shows his stupid ass PSP and phone, so all he does is play mobile games. Fucking blip blopping device. show a goddamn PC. I can't respect this guy as a gamer if you just show his mobile phone. Okay, yeah, whatever. Sure, it needs to show both of these so it gets locked into the box or whatever. It's the only things that are important. Shut up. Alright, next one. Man, Kagura going through the effort to change the battery in Shirugane's phone, and then after that, just immediately ditch that plan and all the effort that she went through just because her phone rang. What the heck was it? It's just an awkward situation, I think. And then she just leaves him hanging in the rain. And he just went home using a bike, went all the way through. That's pretty mean. What was the other thing? He gets sick, and then, yeah, they do a board game to do it. This is getting close to Hokugo Sakura Club, which is just all about playing board games. So this is right up my alley, actually. All we're thinking about is like, wait. Oh no, not this part. Just Kagura in bed making baby noises. It's great. Totally worth the prize winning this game for. The other thing is that, I don't know, I surprisingly just relate to Chika's position here. Like, I have that, whenever we were playing card games just like this, one trick that I liked doing was having the top part of the deck, like, still while I'm dealing the cards, you know, so I can have the card at the top. And then my brother noticed it. Just, I don't know, just a personal story, and Chico's doing the same petty tricks. So, and she's also part of the board game club. You know, she's becoming more and more of a waifu, and I just don't want to admit it. Fuck, shit. It's supposed to be a normie anime. What am I doing? No. Also, just Hayasaka and Kagura's relationship here is adorable. That's a thing. Kagura just becomes the moe blob in the scene. Just look at her. I love the explanation it gives by correlating it to psychology with Sigmund Freud as well. That's cool. I'm just gonna mention things that I like. I'm not gonna stop ever. She's just a baby now. Look at her. This reminds me of you know, there's a thing going around. You know, people have a being sick kink, where a person is literally not just literally hotter for their fever, but also, you know, I don't know, aroused that they're being sick. I'm saying that because it reminds me of the scene in the visual novel Fate Stay Night where Rin Tosaka got sick, or its sequel, Holotraxia, one of those. That's probably where I got it from. Anyways, don't think about it. You know, I do like how it utilizes her being in a lesser state so that she says what is on her mind instead of the facade that she puts on herself whenever she's, you know, being smart. Instead, it's her true feelings let out when she's being sick, and that's what I like about it, you know? Normally, it's very comedic and stuff, but because of that, you're paying attention to it, and it's really funny, but because of that, in contrast, the serious moments really hit, because normally it's funny, and now it's, well, they do that thing. It was emotional for a bit there, I swear. Okay, I'm on the last 3 stretch episodes. If you can't tell, the lighting's different. It's night now because I took a big break from episode 9 to episode 10. Let's finish this. Okay, they're fighting over cake. The fighters become this petty. I've been waiting for this. This is where they skipped all the way from newlyweds and actually married to just a quarreling couple. Love the progression and advancement and development here. Holy shit, it's the fucking friend police. Ah, she solves all the problems. Okay. See you on the flip side. Good to see the roles reversed, you know? There's, Kashiwagi right there, giving Kagura some advice. By the way, I just really wanted to record by saying apologies and sorry for a few things that I said earlier. One of them's, I know I said it's a manga, so there's a lot of disparate stories. Now, that is true sometimes, and they don't all have to be or anything. It just feels like an anthology and disparate and disconnected sometimes. But this episode directly continues from the last one when Shigure, I don't remember the name, Shirogane slept with Kaguya yesterday in the last episode. As well as the last episode in general was just her getting sick from being in the rain, and then after that it ends with her in the bed still, so it all continues. And I'd say episode 9 was the best for having an actual narrative from start to end, like a proper story. The other thing I want to say is I've been saying Kagura the entire time instead of Kaguya. It's the name of the goddamn show and I didn't say it right. Alright. That's pretty much it. Sorry for having those things wrong. Definitely at the time it was correct, especially the disparate disconnection with manga adaptation thing. There's steps in the right direction, you know. Alright. Okay, I just want to say, oh fuck, who is that girl? Tori Sugari. They throw their papers here, you know. The next scene, what they do is that they just immediately start cleaning it up and it just does not get mentioned. That's great. I think the other thing that I wanted to talk about, this part, I just wanted to think about, like, these two people really do want to get together, but they just do not want to admit it because it's on their pride or something. And maybe that's the real main, message, moral here. But I don't think that's completely true since they do have something on the line. Since they're, have a reputation. But I never related to anything like that. I mean, I danced around like a little girl wearing a saber outfit and a skirt. Shoot, what else? There's one more thing. Okay. This is pretty much the only thing that really made me laugh right out loud. I just wanted to mention this part though. It says this. Shinomiya, she's your whatever, isn't she? Do something. They really don't say friend because he doesn't understand what their actual relationship is. That's a possibility. Really just anyways, the funny part that I've seen before this and the one joke that really resonates with me, just this one line. That screenshot great. That screenshot's great. I don't know, I think this is just endlessly cute. I don't know how to explain it. Alright. Yeah. Who even has drive for anything anymore, you know? You normally in some social situation, you just let whatever the other person wants, but what that other person wants is what you want, so you're just like, I'll do whatever you want, and then no one does anything, which is bad, and it's become my role to just choose something so that no one else has to choose. I just get something random. Anyways, that's enough of the rambling. I wonder if that was entertaining for you. There's 104 days, summer vacation, and school comes right along just to end it. And the annual problem for our generation is finding a good way to spend it. I hope I can goddamn learn something from this episode, because they're trying to make a Twitter account, and I've been trying to do that as well for so long. How the hell do you input the phone number and then the people at Twitter actually send you a message? They just don't. I can't even input my number because it keeps saying this number doesn't exist, even though for every single other site I've been using the same number and it works. God damn it, Twitter. Oh, also about Kaguya being not tech savvy. I think when it comes to like character gimmicks in anime, like the thing, I mean, I'm gonna get straight into the, I don't know, psychological of why or analysis of why I think this anime works and is actually funny and comedic while others might not be. And I'm just kind of, I suppose, comparing this to a contemporary image of a comedy anime. And imagine what those are. Really flirty, harem-y, jealous girls just hovering over a guy. And they do have character gimmicks and tropes. And here it's pretty similar, and I think they have the same, like, function or goal of just, making you laugh. The difference is the gimmicks used are actually relevant and funny. Like Kaguya isn't tech savvy, while another's, I don't know, maybe she's just shy or bleeds throughout the nose or something. That reminds me of, what is that one? Rakurai Kishi no Cavalry, the blood teacher. I don't know, it's a weird gimmick, Gimmicks are gimmicky, but some of them are good when they're funny and relevant and you laugh at it. I don't know, maybe it just depends on the person. Alright. She's still lost. No, I'm not showing you because Hayasaka is half naked. It's showing you this because Hayasaka is based and has the best opinions. Just, that's basically the entire show. And also some introspection for her herself, That's cool. I like that. Characterization and existence in general. Alright. Summer, I think this is the beach episode, actually. Episode 11. Wait, let me check. We're getting what the fuck? I don't know, we're getting something. We're getting, some kind of detour and see the thoughts through this dude while Chika just barges into the ramen restaurant as well. And it paints this dude as a complete, like, elitist about ramen restaurants, while Chika just comes in and tries to compare himself to her and she's a total normie. Turns out the joke is Chika is actually just, she is that. Impossible to define. The reason why I wanted to say this, first of all, the elitist and normie distinction here, and how Chika is actually so secretly just based and knows everything about ramen or whatever, and this dude's just incredibly surprised. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that it goes through the mind of not Chika in this scene, but this random dude. And this is actually a trait that I've seen in, like, good anime, transplanting your mind into a bunch of different characters, because that means you have to, like, think like the characters inside the show itself, and that just makes incredibly interesting and developed and well thought out characters. Fleshed out, that's the word that I was going for. I've seen this in Mob Psycho, and that's an anime. Attack on Titan as well. A lot of famous ones, a lot of good ones. Normally it's just the protagonist, but in, I don't know, more comedic ones, I suppose, that allow the tolerance, or just allow, because of the formula of the show itself, you can see yourself in different characters. Subhibi, everyone. Pathologic. Alright, time to finish this. This dude's arc that just happens in one part of the episode is pretty, it's relatable. It's a good trait to have, to be self-conscious. You see your surroundings and people around you, and then you compare their actions to yours so you can become better. It's wholesome. You know, now that, um, shoot, she's one of the main three girls. I just have a bad time with names. Chica. Now that Chica is just being confused here, I know she's half confused because just a random dude is giving a up to her, but also I can't tell if she's doing all that ramen connoisseur stuff on purpose. I thought she was just a secret genius, but no, maybe she did it all accidentally. Alright, man, just seeing these dudes waste their summer vacation while I'm almost nearing the end of my incredibly long one. And thinking back on it has made me. I mean, I don't want to think back on it, it just makes me realize how little I've done. The only thing that I've realized is that I made a 1 hour and 46-minute video. I remember the exact time, by the way, for Subahibi, and that visual novel was about spending a summer, so I was just writing about someone else's, a fictional character's summer. This is so relatable. Man, I can't even believe they're gonna invite each other out. I wish I even had the possibility of doing this. Because I don't have any friends to invite. Okay, I'll be honest, I am kind of weirded out about why, in the end of episode 11, they give a pretty important and backstory to Kaguya here with her family and... Oh shit, it was on two... Nope, okay. Yeah, her backstory is just pushed at the end of the episode, and I might have skipped it, honestly, since I don't watch the endings. But I don't skip the openings, so there you go, it's fair. That was weird. It's just like how Ruka in Rental Girlfriend, her ending was also like that. This is just her backstory pushed into the ending. It was weird. And really important. I mean, I understand as part of the manga and how that was, how it was made like that. Like, maybe it's just a mini chapter or something. But I don't know why they wouldn't put it into a main part of the anime. Anyways, I keep rewinding back to this moment because I just want to say, yeah, Hayasaka here rules. I really like her. Her personality and attitude, that's cool. Waifu material, I suppose. But I like how what she represents to Kaguya here, because she's not only emotional support, but at the start of the episode, or near the start, she was also analyzing her situation as well and giving the right opinion with that both of them should just be open with their feelings and they would both be happy, but they just refuse to. I don't know, I just like her because she's an incredibly supportive character, like as a shadow guardian. She's great. This is pretty much completely unrelated, but back in episode 3, I just want to tell you that I noticed this goddamn Yeti. I knew that was there the entire time, but I just didn't say it back on episode 3. Okay? I watch actual anime. I actually watched it. I actually paid attention to every part of the scene, I swear. Oh, here it is. There it is. The final episode. There's normally a big, weird plot, even if it is... even if it is just a rom-com comedy, it's all gonna end. It's finally over. It's not. I'm gonna watch the final episode. It's just obvious. So the conflict here is that Lady Kaguya, his father, doesn't like. They're scared of her father not allowing her to go to the festival because of reputation reasons. Like what happens if someone sees her during this summer festival as a commoner or something like that. And that's why she's not going there while all of her friends are there. And she had an incredibly rough summer as well, so that's a lot of sad things. I just wanted to mention that because I remember the last time I cried to a piece of media, and you won't fucking believe it, it's Nyaruko. That meme core anime. There's nothing to it. I cried during that because the main character was alone and all of his friends were just gone. Like the Nyarlathotep and all those demons, they're just gone. That made me sad, just him being all alone without him. Even though I didn't care about the rest of the anime except for Kamen Rider references. Anyways, back to Kaguya-Sama. He's running. Ooh. Just wanted to say, as an aesthetician, this is quite possibly the best detail he could ever put. I know I'm not zooming in her feet for any reason. Because these fucking small things in between these types of sandals, they just hurt like hell when you start wearing them and running in them. That's why I never buy any sandals with this shit between your goddamn toes. Oh, and also, this is the serious scene where Kage is crying. The feet were more important. They do the fucking the initial D thing. Okay, wait. And now whatever. The moment's gone. Alright, Kansei Drift. Oh my god, I love these lights in these tunnels. They're so cool. Alright, enough detail. You know, in lieu of that serious moment, this scene just reminds me of that one time in Bakemonogatari where the entire episode happened in the car while they were on the road on their way to see the stars picnicking at night with Araragi and the girl. I just, the names just don't come to me right now. Alright, serious moment. Let me not interrupt. Oh my god, it's the first firework. Okay, I'm interrupting again instead of actually watching because, oh my god, she doesn't have any eyes. The fireworks reminds me of the arc that happened in Genshin Impact with that girl that was all about fireworks. The really bad 5-star character who was an archer. That that arc, that story, that character-specific story in Genshin Impact made me realize how special fireworks are. Yeah, that's it. Well, here's the aftermath after a bunch of cringy lines that he says. At the time, it just sounded really cool, honestly. But I suppose it really does matter when they're playing this love war game between each other. This just reminds me when I was in the hospital and I said dumb things when I had tetanus or something, and I was like, God damn it, I want to get out of the hospital. It's a life or death situation, and I have to pray. Oh, whatever. Yeah, it's cool. Alright. We'll watch the next 10 minutes. I just skipped the part where he turns into Earthworm Jim and then they don't even bother animating him walking. It's just really funny. It's like a 3D model of a character that they just moved from one part to the corner of the room. That's great. Oh, 0 to 10, worst anime ever. How the hell did they fucking draw a triangle with 4 people in it? No, there's 3 sides. Also, for some reason, they're showing this entire bit and they're like doing airplane formations with smoke behind them. I suppose that's cool. They look pretty goofy. Not bad, not necessarily the bad thing. What's the deal with these fucking these star things on top of their heads? I assume maybe it's related to the airplane formation thing where they're decorated soldiers and they have stars on them that they get when they win, maybe? I have no idea. Oh, and the anime ended. Is this someone's little sister? What is this girl's deal? You know, I do like how it ended with the big clear moment of the season, which is the fireworks part. And then it also showed how they resolved that, because it's naturally going to be pretty awkward between the two after that very emotional moment, and how they really were true to themselves during the fireworks part. The other thing is, I'm impressed that they, even though this is a manga adaptation and they don't really I don't know, the manga doesn't keep track of how the anime is gonna end, if it will ever exist, and this one did. They just chose a good story to end it on, I suppose, that would make sense for the ending of the anime. And, yeah, it's great how it was, resolved there. If now we're gonna start on the after talk of after watching this anime, what I learned and everything that I got out of this experience, I suppose. You can see I have not cut my stubble yet. I hope me walking around doesn't pick up the air conditioner audio either. But yeah, Love is War. Dude, it was funny, it was lighthearted, heartwarming, all the heart words. It's not that there's nothing to say about it, even though I'm kind of struggling. It's that, I don't know, it's a rom-com. The experience itself is important than the details and how you interact with these two characters. Normally, I don't know, in shows that I watch, like Preacher, there's like a moral at the end of the episode that it gives you, and here, it's just fun moments with all the characters, and I could recount a lot of funny moments that happened with all of them. And, I destroy the joke. Again, good anime, especially in its execution with all of its incredibly inventive and creative ways that it portrayed the situation. Like recently in the last 12th episode, they became airplanes, and airplane love stories are pretty common as well. I saw, for some reason, the only thing I can think of is the one in the Peanut Brown movie, which is also a parody of what airplane love stories also are. Not important. But yeah, execution wise, great, amazing, showed it in great ways. The comedy itself between all the characters, they have great chemistry and they really thought out what their characters really are. And they also have actually funny, relatable gimmicks as well that they show. Yeah. Anyways, good, great. It turns out it's like the best anime ever now, because in Mal, recently, season 3 like surpassed FMA Brotherhood, which used to be the best rated anime on Mal for a very long time. 9.4, season 3 of Love is War. I mean, Kaguya-Sama. I don't know, it's above that. I'm surprised Osama ranking didn't do that well, even though I heard that was like the perfect anime made nowadays or something. Alright. Will I ever do this again? Watch anime in a day, record myself doing it? I have a lot of anime that I do want to get started on, and this recording my thoughts on it is also very important. But maybe I'll just note what I watched instead of recorded, because at the start, in the first few episodes, I was really trying there and like finding what the real essence was, because that's what I get from the first episode, and then I just find it to be kind of formulaic for the rest, but I guess from that, maybe we'll see. I don't know if there's any great anime that I have a lot of thoughts on. Kaguya-Sama, I'd be honest, not exactly one of them. I just, on an aesthetic level, I kept pointing at the screen saying, wow, this is funny, this little detail, that's cool. Maybe I do that for other things that I like as well. We'll see. I don't know. I don't like spending an entire day just watching a single anime, even though for me, it's productive, because my goal in life is just to watch every single anime ever made. At least the good ones. Maybe I should just make a list right here and now. Oh wait, some of them, they're more on the popular side because they're popular and I want to watch them because I don't want to be left out. Like, yeah, you're an anime fan, but you didn't watch fucking Food Wars or, I don't know, Spy Family, that popular one nowadays. So, I just want to watch popular anime for the sake of it. I don't know, I kind of just want to try something definitely very different from rom-com. Maybe those things that I said earlier, Angel's Egg, Texnolize, Hibernate, Renmei, something like that. Something dark, something to thick on, and has very uh, placed, I mean, obvious themes, you know, that it wants to have a message and say out there. We'll see, I suppose. I was gonna say Area the animation because I know that's a very quiet and slow anime. Alright. Maybe more Moe stuff, I don't know. Alright. Alright. You know, we done. Consume everything. See ya. Goodbye. I'm gonna go do something else with my life that is not watch anime. God, I was busy. I was in the middle of watching goddamn Ojamajo Doremi. I can't believe this giant this fucking sidetracked me. God damn it, from my magical girls. Speaking of which, the next one might be Prismaelia. Okay, this outro is way too long. Goodbye. Consume everything.